And now let's talk about the territory that China claims as its own. Taiwan. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-Wen will soon embark on a mission. Later this month, she begins a 10-day tour of Latin America. She'll visit Taiwan's allies Belize and Guatemala and stop over in New York and Los Angeles. The mission is quite simple: retain Taipei's remaining allies in Central America. And the trigger is this: Honduras is shifting its allegiance to China. We told you about this last week. This will leave Taiwan with only 13 official allies. When President Tsai began her term in 2016, Taiwan was recognized by 20 countries. Today, that's down to 13. It's the magic of China's checkbook. It's weaning away Taiwan's friends, so President Tsai is reaching out to the remaining ones.
On this trip, the president hopes to achieve the two goals of strengthening democracy and developing co-prosperity. Deepening exchanges with democratic partners, together safeguarding international peace and stability, while continuing to further the cooperation plan of mutual benefit and common prosperity, pushing forward together on welfare, construction and economy.
The spokesperson says the aim is strengthening democracy and developing co-prosperity. It's an interesting turn of phrase. You see, China's acts of checkbook diplomacy are well known. So Taiwan usually has to sweeten the deal for its allies as well. Let's look at Honduras. Last week, it announced that it would switch diplomatic recognition to China. Just before that, it said it was trying to negotiate or renegotiate its debt to Taiwan. That debt amounts to about $600 million. You see, Taiwan has spent years aiding its allies. Most of them are relatively poor nations. Even for this latest trip by President Tsai, the spokesperson mentioned pushing forward together on welfare, construction and the economy. It sounds a lot like China. It's like both China and Taiwan are using money to win friends. They're competing in Latin America with promises of aid. But to be fair to Taiwan, there's a difference. China's checks come with debt traps. Taiwan cannot do that, even if it wants to. It doesn't have the economic heft to cripple countries financially. And Taiwan has been giving aid to allies for decades. It needs their support for a political statement, if nothing else. It's not like these allies will fight for it if China invades. They don't have the wherewithal. That's where Taiwan's unofficial allies come in, the likes of America. The US officially recognizes Beijing, but it still supports Taipei. It follows the one China policy, but maintains what it calls strategic ambiguity. The US military may be one of the only reasons why China has not attacked yet. And all the parties know this, which is why Beijing is furious about President Tsai's visit to the US. Reports say she'll meet with US House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Last year, former Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan. It was the first such visit in 25 years, and China threw a fit about it. It conducted live-fire drills for weeks around Taiwan. This time, the Americans say there's no reason for China to overreact.
There's no reason for China to overreact. Heck, there's no reason for them to react. I mean, this is something that, as I said, is commonplace and has happened before, will likely happen again. It's personal, it's unofficial. There should be no reason for Beijing to react in any way to this. Again, business as usual here. And we did think it was important to provide that context in light of Mr. Xi's visit to Moscow and all the media attention that is getting, as well as in the context of how they reacted to Speaker Pelosi's. No apologies there at all. We felt that this was important context to be out there, and so we put it out there.
The US and Taiwan are asking China to keep calm. They want President Tsai's trip to go off without incident. We'll keep you updated about how this story unfolds.